Good morning, guys. Today is January 25th. The markets overall are doing great. Most of the futures are up. Dow future, S&P 500 future, all of those are up. People are expecting Dow to hit the 20,000 key mark, or the point. I guess that would bring a lot of bullish momentum into the market if it does hit it, or especially if it breaks it. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, for the stocks that I'm watching today, my first watch is OREX, which is up on the screen right now. OREX has a catalyst this morning. They announced a Spanish launch of one of their products in partnership with some other company. So definitely a headline partnership, launch of a new product, or I guess previously used product in somewhere in Spanish launch. I don't know, in Spain. So definitely a catalyst out for it, which we love to see. As you guys can see on my charts here, the pre-market high is 368, pre-market low is 350. 347 is the 200 moving average, and it's obviously opening below that, or above that. And if it breaks the pre-market high, I feel like it'll bring some momentum into the stock. It is a low float. Let me just bring out the float information on it here. I believe it has about 1.9 million in float. Or no, sorry, that's not the float. 9.5 million in float. So definitely low float. Anything below 20 million is what I like to trade, just because I feel like that usually has the biggest percent gain, or can bring in some serious momentum, especially if a lot of traders start jumping in. Looking at the daily chart here, market's open in about a couple of minutes here, so I'll hurry up here. Looking at the daily chart here, we have the double top just around 398. So I believe the break of 4 would bring in some serious momentum in this stock, because as soon as we get the break of 4, there's some clear room to run up to about 475. So I believe this will bring some positive momentum in. Second stock we have is CDTI. Now CDTI, similar thing. It does have a catalyst out. Let me just quickly go over it. But the thing with CDI that I don't like is the catalyst came out after hours. So you guys see it went from 2 to 250 just right after hours yesterday, and then it's kind of been hanging around that. So I mean, the break of 250 will definitely bring in some volume, but then there's also 200 moving average at 275, which could act as strong resistance. So this is my second go-to. Again, I'm only watching OREX today. Nothing else seemed to be on my scanners this morning kind of stood out to me that I was like, you know what, this has a positive catalyst, people, low float, blah, 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 or people could jump into it. So I didn't really get any of that. There was a couple other plays. OPXA is one of them. Kind of has a chart pattern that I, could think that could work. But I'm just going to focus on whatever I think would be the ideal play for today. And the markets are open, and if that doesn't work, guys, then you know what, it's okay. We don't have to worry too much. Again, I'm setting my order for this for 200 shares, just over 368. CDTI is running. It broke 250, but we'll see what it does after that, because again, remember, there's resistance at 275. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, it is a low float. It has a float of about 6.72 million, so definitely low float, but we're not going to jump in on anything right away here. Let's come back to Oris in a second. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll just bring this up so you guys can see. So it's jumped over 250. Now it got pushed back down. Again, we're not jumping in anything. There's support at 230 or 235 pre-market. GLBS went up. Oryx is kind of coming down, not doing much there. Again, Oryx, we're only looking over 368. Okay, CDTI is definitely running, but okay, it's over the 200 SMA, but it's the spread's a little big right now. There's 4 cents, couple cents. So let's see what happens here. Again, I'm not jumping into it right now. Let's see, it's definitely running. I mean, I'm definitely waiting for a pullback on this, not jumping in anything without. There's definitely volume, so I like it now. But we're gonna wait for a pullback here because we're not gonna chase it up in the 280s. Ideal entry was the break of 250, but it was the first candle, and then I don't usually like jumping in on the first candle. I like to see what it does after, and after again around the 250 area would have been good. I would have liked to see it touch 250 but not go below it. But again, let's see here. We might get a pullback towards the 250. I'm just gonna have my order ready here for again, we're not buying in the 280s here, just because $3 could act as a support, or sorry, resistance, and maybe a break of 3 would be an ideal entry actually. So we'll see what happens there. But again, I feel like I won't buy just a break of 3 because it's all. I mean, I would definitely want to see some pullback here and then a run up towards break of 3. But I'm not jumping in when it's already ran about 50 cents. So let's see what happens here. Ideal entry, guys, would be now is a really solid pullback. With so right here, what I would like to see is a pullback towards that 280 mark, and then perhaps a trend. Oryx is running, so let's see what happens with Oryx. We'll come back to this. So Oryx is above that 368 mark, guys. Right, you see how it popped up, so it definitely bring some now the thing with Oryx is here, guys, it's so random the volume came in, so I might wait here. I don't wanna CDTI. You know what, let's focus on CDTI, because Oryx, if it breaks, see, Oryx is reaching my okay, CDTI is pulling back. See how it got stopped around 3 there, so definitely not interested in that. Okay, CDTI is pulling back, Oryx is running. I mean, with Oryx, I can always look to jump in on the break of 4, right? Okay, good pullback here. Let's see what happens with yeah, Oryx is definitely running. So the break of 368 was a good buy there. Now it's at 389. But you can't catch all, right? You can't catch all of them, so it's okay. I'm liking this pullback here. I want to see if it can, if the net candle can, for 300 over 286, right? 286, with my entry, with my stop being below. So let's see if it hits 286 here. Okay, I placed my order there, but I didn't get filled. Oh, I got some partial position there. I got 100 fill. I got another 100. Okay, I'm in. Now I'm putting my stop just below $274. Okay, so we are running here. Let's see what happens. Okay, we broke 3. Oh, whoa, what the hell? Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, no, thank you. I don't like that. So guys, you saw what just happened there. It broke 3, but that big drop, nope, no thank you. So I protected myself. I sold right away at just 281. So I lost about 5 cents on that trade. So $15 with commissions, or $15 plus commissions. This is weird. See, when things like that happen, you just can't, you don't know. The break of 3 was great. You know, once it broke that, it should have just basically just because see, I got in at 286. I wanted, if that break could have just kept pushing, I would have been looking to sell in the 310s. Basically, that's where I would have looked to get out. Look for my 20 cents. But look at this. Look at this. Look how it just dropped back down, and I don't know what happened. It could be just a lot of people waiting to dump. But you know what? I think my entry was great. My exit was great. I mean, I was gonna put my stop to like right here. So I was gonna put my stop actually pretty far, but ideal stop would have been just this 279, just below this 279, so 278, right? That way I lose 7-8 cents, with the goal of making about 20 to 30 cents. So I really wanted that break of 3, which I got, but that big red candle, no thank you. I'm out. Let's move to Oryx. We're definitely done with that trade for now. Let's move to Oryx. Now Oryx is staying above that 368 level. I like it. On the 5-minute, it's below the VWAP. I would love to see a close above the VWAP. You know what? This right here actually is good. 370 below 368, 200 shares, 376. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't like the spread on this right now. It's it's about a 5 cent spread on it. Yeah, the volume is kind of dying on this candle right here. Right here, I would love for the candle to make a new high. We need high volume. We need high volume. Let's go back to CDTI and I'll show you guys what I mean. See, on this candle, it broke it. It was higher volume than the previous candle, so 287,000. Whereas on this, the candle to make a new high has 26, but the previous candle has 31. So we need more volume to come in for it to be a confirmation of the break of the previous high, and then a push towards basically the high of day. But again, it was a good play on the break of 368 and looking to sell in the 380s. But it's not. Excuse me. It's not a great, I guess, breakout from 368. Plus, we also have, past month resistance in the 398s near the 4s. And until it breaks that, I am okay to stay away from this stock. I'm sure there's something else moving that traders are jumping into. I still don't know what happened with CDTI, but we can't do everything about everything, right? Alright guys, so as you guys saw what happened with CDTI, let me bring it up here. Let's start with Oryx. Oryx, the very same thing happened. I was kind of watching it in this area, and then we got this drop. No position for me though. I stayed away. Let's go to positions here. So yeah, I stayed away from it. Again, only play I had so far today was CDTI. And guys, things like that, these happen, and I've learned over the past year that sometimes you could have the best best setup, best potential for the trade to work in your favor, and it just doesn't. Like you guys saw here what happened. Stock runs just breaks 250, the pre-market high, runs up to 3, and that's your 50-cent gain right there. Pulls back, right? And obviously I wasn't going to chase it as it was going up because anything could be the top, and we don't know the top. But once it pulls back, this candle pulls back to the 9 EMA, gets pushed up. This candle makes a nice little pull, and then I got in on the first candle to make a new high, and we get this push here towards high of day. And that's always the goal on the pullbacks. When you get in on a pullback, your goal is to test the high of day or potentially break it. In this case, it breaks the high of day, but as soon as it broke it, I still don't know what happened. For past few minutes or whatever, I've been searching, trying to figure out if something happened, or if some news came out, or was there just big sellers waiting to dump their shares. Whatever the case may be, guys, it's something that we didn't accept. We didn't plan for. The only thing we could have done is, or what I did was, as soon as I saw that happen, I knew right away that this is not the strength of the bull players in the market. The people who are pushing the stock up, like buyers, people who are going long, is just weak. For it to drop from straight from $3 or $5 and get pushed down all the way to 261, that's nearly a 40-cent drop, guys. Right? And for that to happen, that means that sellers were ready to take control. And so as soon as I saw that big push and it kind of pops back up, I got out. I'm not waiting for it to see if it'll go back up there. I'm not holding and hoping, guys. That is not a strategy. Now, the best thing I should have done is placed a stop order, which I tried to do. I don't know why my hotkey wasn't working. Usually, if I press F12, is it F12? Oh, it's F9. That was the problem. I was pressing F12, and F12 don't do shit. So F9 is the stop, and I wanted to put a stop order just below that. So put a stop order 278, just below this candle right here, because if it makes a lower low there, guys, that means that this play, that the strategy that I went in with didn't work out, because this 1 minute pullback in the first candle to make a new high, this needs to run right away. This needs to, as soon as you get in, this needs to pop, and then the second candle needs to pop, which it did. It just got pushed back down in a very nasty manner, and best thing we did was protect ourselves, and I got out hitting the bid in the 280s, because I knew if I put my order at the ask, it might not get up back there, and I wasn't taking any chances. I wasn't looking to sell in the 270s, and I knew I didn't have a stop order in. So that is also something to remember, because if you don't have the stop order in, you're opening yourself up to a big ass loss, and we don't do big ass losses, because they definitely hurt my account, especially when you have a small account, guys. It's definitely going to take you out of the game much sooner, because you also have to remember that when you do make money, you're not making as much because you have fees, right? And then there's monthly fees on your platform, and then so you have to keep all those things in mind. And again, I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to it. CDTI, I think it was a very well trade. It worked out exactly the way I wanted until it didn't. So the only thing we can take away from this is stop orders are very, very necessary, I guess. You can always have a mental stop order, guys. Usually I keep a mental stop order, because sometimes market makers can see your stop orders like hard stop orders. What I mean by hard stop order is like when you physically put a stop loss order, and it shows up on your thingy that you have a stop loss order there. That's a hard stop loss. So market makers can see it, and sometimes they usually just push the price down to like kick a lot of people out, make their commissions, and then the stock just goes back up the way it was supposed to. So sometimes it's not really good to have a hard stop loss, as long as you know your hotkeys, and as soon as you see the number you wanted to get out on the bid, you hit it and you get out. But you just can't play around with that. You can't be like, oh wait, maybe it'll bounce, right? As you guys saw there, as soon as I saw the CDTI drop, as soon as this big candle dropped, I think before the candle closed, but when it first dropped, it came around this area right here, 279, 280, and then it gets pushed back up, and that's when I hit the bid, and I got out. I am not waiting to see what happens after. As you guys can see, it's all the way back in the 250s now. So never work to hold and hope. Like I said, hope is not a strategy. Anyways, guys, I think this is it for me right now. I do not see anything else on my scanners that I feel like is worth trading right now, and I've already taken a loss for today. Although it's a small loss, which is great because I protected myself, it's still a loss, and I am just going to walk away for now, and do some studies, look at some charts, and then we'll come back and attack the markets again tomorrow. By the way, Dow just broke 20,000. That's a keystone, and I think once it broke that, I think that's when a bunch of stocks just like randomly dropped. I don't know, I could be wrong, but actually no, that's not what had happened. But I don't know what happened. I guess I'll find out somewhere on Twitter or somewhere. But until then, have a good day, and see you guys again. Bye.